welcome to Deja View, where we're flashing back over 18 years of programming on the school channel. I'm your host and resident old guy, Gary Kramer, with Amy Marsh.
Hello.
And Diane Stowe.
Hello.
And on today's show, we're continuing our look at the Teachers of the Year as we prepare to announce the 1997 Norman Teacher of the Year this Friday at a banquet held at the Postal Training Center in the Marriott. So we're looking forward to that, but in preparation for that, we're going to continue in our look at previous Teachers of the Year and the videos that we work on to help celebrate the profession of teaching, which are part of the Teacher of the Year banquet. Now, if you were with us last week, we started in 1988 and we looked at some of the banquet videos, which often include student testimonials, where students from Norman High School talk about teachers that were meaningful in their lives. And then we look at the finalists for the honor of Teacher of the Year, and then we look at a special video about the reigning Teacher of the Year from any particular year. So we got all the way through 1988 and we're ready to pick up with our Celebration of Teaching Awards videos and our Teacher of the Year celebration videos on this week's edition of Deja View.
The 1989 Teacher of the Year was Norman High School special education teacher Roxanne Knowles. Mrs. Knowles is still teaching at Norman High School, inspiring her students and fellow teachers every day. Next year, she will continue her good work at Norman High. In 1989, Roxanne Knowles shared her philosophy and experience with the entire community as she represented the profession of teaching at Norman as Norman Teacher of the Year.
My students are special in the way they learn. They're unique in the way that they learn. And so that's the only way I think they're special. Because I agree with teachers, and we all think our students are special. And they should think that. I think that's the way teachers and students build this mutual trust, is the fact that teachers see students as having a uniqueness, as having something to contribute, and being able to achieve. It was a learning center, and we had to work with kids with learning disabilities or mentally handicapped of some kind. And I just, then, you know, that really hooked me. Things that we take for granted were very difficult for them. And I just, their battles just seemed to be the day-to-day getting through everything. You know, just the day-to-day accomplishments we take for granted were their real battles. And to me, it just seemed to show great courage on the part of the kids. And they seemed to be so grateful for everything that you helped them accomplish. And today, you know, that's one of the greatest rewards in my job is the kids just seem to be, the students seem to be so grateful for what I do for them. And it just makes you want to do more. I see myself responsible for my students wherever they may be. If they're in the regular classroom, if they're at VOTEC, we have work-study programs. If they're on the job, we monitor that. And so that builds for a pretty intense relationship over a 2-year period. The rewards of that are the feedback you get from the kids. You know, on the district level, we do all kinds of things as teachers. We're responsible for setting our own goals in a system. Well, and that's usually voluntary if you want to serve on those committees and things. And special educators are real careful to serve on those committees because we want our kids represented when curriculum decisions are made or anything else. You know, we're their advocate. We're the one that sees that this gets done. I think seeing your own kids go through the school setting and the different school situations helps you be a better teacher. Last year, my son started kindergarten, and he was really scared at times. You know, there were times that he was just very fearful. And I thought to myself, you know, when I have kids come up, I know they must feel the same way. And when they say, I don't know where Student Services office is, I don't know where the principal's office is, and Well, it made me react differently to them. I thought just because they're 16 and 17 years old doesn't mean they don't have those same fears or anxieties about coming to a new school. And so I thought at that point I'd never treat that situation lightly. You know, if a student had any anxiety or any fear about something that was going on at school or in his education program, that I was going to clear it up and see that he felt more comfortable with it. Because it was the teachers who eventually made my son feel comfortable in school and reassured him. And because you have to have that reassurance on the spot. You know, you can come home to mom and dad and you know what they're going to say. They're going to tell you everything's going to be okay. But when a teacher tells you and takes the time to explain the situation and assures you that things are going to be okay, then it carries a little more impact. You know, you're going along and you have this teaching strategy and you're doing this technique in your class, and for some kids it just doesn't work, and they don't have to be LD. They don't have to be diagnosed as learning disabilities. And I think if something doesn't work, try to find something else to do. You know, we're taught to be structured as teachers. You know, we have objectives, we have lesson plans, but within that structure, teachers are masters at being flexible. You know, days just don't go like you planned. And so I think just to stay with that flexibility and to be comfortable with changing something for a student. And I think a lot of teachers have a tendency to be concerned with whether it's fair or not for another student to be able to do something differently. But you know, I have no problems with that. I see every student as unique. It's not fair for some student to be in a wheelchair, but we're going to build a ramp for them to get them in the building. And I think the same thing applies for students who learn differently. One of the greatest things about Norman is the community that we have here. Education is a business in Norman, Oklahoma. You know, and it's a very important business, and our community places a lot of importance on education, and I think it gives a lot of respect and admiration to its teachers. So it helps us to do a better job because it's just natural to enjoy working in a place that you're appreciated. And Norman is the kind of place that you can proudly say, I'm a teacher. As far as special ed is concerned, I'm impressed with Norman. They do things right. They place kids in the right programs. They follow the law, and there are lots of laws that go into the special ed area. And by doing things right, the right things happen for the kids. They get the best education. Teacher of the Year, it serves as kind of a sounding board for the community. You know, I've been able to be the ears for everybody. The community tells me that they care about teachers, that they are appreciative of what we do, that they acknowledge the dedication that we have. And so I think it's important from that aspect. The district needs to have a person who can hear this and go back and say to their teachers, you are respected in this community, you are important, people know you're doing a good job. And that's my role, I think, as Teacher of the Year, is just to go back and let them know how this community feels about them.
That was a look at the 1989 Norman Teacher of the Year, Roxanne Knowles from Norman High School, and what a classy lady she was and is. One of the most eloquent Teachers of the Year we've ever had, and did a lot to promote the profession of teaching in the community of Norman, and that is one of the roles of the Norman Teacher of the Year. So let's continue in our look at the celebration of teaching as a profession and the look at the Teachers of the Year who carried that title for their individual schools and for the city of Norman.
Computer animation and the voice of Diane Stowe were featured in the 1990 student testimonials for the Celebration of Teaching banquet. Diane, the students from Norman High School, and some elementary students who visited the studio let their teachers know that you are the wind beneath my wings.
The teacher that inspired me the most was my 9th grade English teacher, Dr. Shove. She gave me the confidence that I really needed at times, and she gave me the confidence to tell me that I can be whatever I wanted to be and that no one else could take that away from me. And I just wanted to say thank you very much, Dr. Shove. You are the wing beneath my wings.
I went to a little hick school called Lakeview, and I had a teacher named Mr. Cumbie, and besides being my football and wrestling coach, he was also a good friend. Every time I was depressed or something in his class, he'd pull me out in the hall and have a heart-to-heart talk with me. I just want to say thank you, Mr. Cumbie.
I would say that Mr. Day has greatly influenced my education after high school, because he's opened up a whole new area that I didn't think I was interested in, and he's just been, whenever I have a problem, I can come to him. He's helped me through athletics, and I just want to have this time to say thanks.
The teacher that helped me the most was Mrs. Cantrell. When I was new, she helped me go through the hard periods of school and make lots of friends. The teacher that's helped me the most is probably Mrs. Stewart. When I was new to Cleveland, our old school hasn't done multiplication yet, and we were working on a banana split for a treat of our 3-minute multiplication, and she helped me finish it, and my prize at them was a banana split.
I'd have to say that the person that's helped me the most since I've moved here in May would have to be Coach Langton. He helped me this summer to meet some people so that I didn't feel like I didn't know anyone in the entire school, and it made my move a lot easier. Thank you, Coach Langton.
The thing I'll never forget was when I was in 4th grade when Mrs. Bills and Mrs. Zell took me to the high school studio to be on the bedtime story.
There are many people that have meant a lot to me as teachers through Norman High, but the one who sticks out in my mind most is probably Miss Thatcher. In 8th grade, she wrote in my yearbook that if she'd have a daughter, she only has sons, that if she had a daughter, she'd wish her to be just like me, and that I'd be going on to high school and to never forget her. Well, Miss Thatcher, I've never forgotten you. I love you as a teacher, a mother, and my friend. Thanks.
Two teachers that would have to have had the greatest influence on my life would have to be Patricia Trimble from Kennedy Elementary and Miss Melinda Minshaw from Central Mid-High. Both really knew how to take teaching down to a good friendship level and greatly influenced my life throughout the years. Thanks a lot.
Coach Griffith put me through a lot of hard practices, but he helped me develop my own personality now, and I really thank him for that.
I would like to thank my 1st grade teacher, Mrs. Baker from Monroe Elementary School. I remember her because one day I fell asleep through about 3/4 of the whole day of school, and she didn't wake me up while everybody else had to work. And she just said she didn't have the heart to wake me up, and I would like to thank her for that because no other teacher has ever let me do that. Thank you.
Dr. Betsy Ballard has been my friend and teacher for 2 years now. She's always pushed me to do my best, and she's helped me to realize my full potential both as a student and as a person. Thanks, Ms. Ballard.
Back in my early days at Cleveland Elementary, I was shown the importance of respect and determination by Mrs. Barnell, my 3rd grade math teacher. She taught me how to never give up and always have confidence in myself. Thank you, Mrs. Barnell.
One teacher that I've really enjoyed a lot is Mrs. Coleman. I remember when I was in elementary school, she'd come in, before school and after school, and we'd do square dances, and she'd help us with our gymnastics and stuff. And she was really supportive, and she was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed her a lot. Thanks, Mrs. Coleman.
The teacher that's influenced me the most would have to be Mrs. Cochran. She's been like my mother away from home. She gives me words of encouragement, and she's always helped me when I needed help, and she's always been there. Thank you, Miss Cochran.
The most inspirational teacher I've had in my scholastic career would have to be Scott Hecox of Irving Middle School. In between teaching me a little bit of civics, he was also one of the best athletics instructors I've ever had. And also, he was a friend, and I'd like to say thank you.
The teacher who has had most influence on me is Mr. Tony Gonzalez from Central. He's just a great guy. He kind of brought me out of my shell and made me believe that I could do anything that I really wanted to do, and then just tell him thanks.
Okay, somebody that influenced me greatly during my school years is Miss Swanigan from my elementary school. During reading and everything, she'd take time out and read with you and do what you needed to do to learn about school to start with. Miss Driver was also a great teacher. Miss Michelle, Mr. Winters, Tony Gonzalez, all those people were really people that pumped you up and got you going through things that you needed to go through. So those are people that influenced my life during school.
When I think of a teacher who has made a big difference in my life, I think of Mrs. Claudia Swisher at West Mid High. She was like a best friend to me during 2 very difficult years, and I don't think I would have made it through without her. She was always there, just ready to give me a hug whenever I needed her. She believed in me and had faith in me when I had lost all faith in myself, and for that I'll always be grateful. Thank you.
2 teachers that have done things for me extraordinary throughout my high school years are Algebra 2 teacher Mr. Lunger and French teacher Miss Michelle. Last year, Mr. Lunger spent a lot of time with me so I could understand Algebra 2. I'm really glad that he took time out of his busy schedule just to help me. My sophomore year at Central Mid High, Miss Michelle's class was something I looked forward to throughout the day. She was a great teacher, and you could tell that she loved teaching and students. Most of all, I'd like to thank them, too, for being extraordinary teachers. Thanks.
Teacher is my teacher here at Norman High, Mr. Dotson. He's my chemistry teacher, and I have him 4th hour. And I really don't understand chemistry, and I can ask him a million questions, and he never loses patience with me. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank him.
One of my most inspirational moments at school was when my first grade teacher, Mrs. Beasing, told me that if I got good grades all the way through school and worked hard, I could be anything I wanted to in the job market.
A teacher that's been an inspiration to me is Mrs. Levitt. She's been my Spanish teacher for 2 years, and she takes a lot of time out to help me out. Thank you, Mrs. Levitt.
I'd like to thank Mrs. Allen in 3rd grade, my math teacher, for sticking with me and having faith in me.
I'd like to thank my counselor from West, Miss Cynthia Timmons, for having the biggest influence on my life here in Norman. She helped me through problems at home and problems at school whenever I needed them, and I'd like to thank her. Thank you.
One teacher that really sticks out in my mind is Mrs. Evelyn Gatewood. She was always very helpful and supportive to me no matter what I was doing. And she even tried to teach me how to needlepoint once, and even though I wasn't very good at it, she never gave up on me. Thank you, Mrs. Gatewood.
My favorite teacher is Miss Spear. She's helped me whenever I needed help on doing all my homework and stuff. And I want to thank her. Thanks.
I'd like to thank Billy Carlson, my 5th grade teacher from Eisenhower, that I appreciate all her support and advice, and that I think she's helped me become me. Thank you, Ms. Carlson.
When thinking of just one teacher, I can't really think of just one that's made a big impact on my life. So I'd like to thank all the teachers at Eisenhower Elementary School that just broadened my life through my elementary education. Thank you, Mrs. Pape, Matthews, Carson, Swanigan, Hazeldine, and Carlson.
It might have appeared to go unnoticed that we have it all here in our hearts.
Those were the student testimonials from 89 or 90?
90.
From 1990, featuring our own Diane Stowe as a 5th grader that year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And we're coming full circle because at the Celebration of Teaching banquet this year, you are again featured in a video singing. So what goes around comes around, I guess. We've just proven that.
It'll be much better this year.
Oh, I thought that was one of my favorite ones for all times. And we worked a long time on that one. I hope you could tell with all the birds flapping by. We had to draw those frame by frame on a Macintosh computer and then overlay it over the student testimonials. Now, earlier I said that the Teacher of the Year banquet would be this Friday, but I misspoke. It's actually next Friday. It's the 18th of April, and that will be the day that we premiere the new video, Norman's Best, featuring Diane. And we'll also have some student testimonials from this year's juniors and seniors, remembering their special teachers. And we'll take a look at the 7 people who were finalists for the title of the Norman Teacher of the Year, a tradition that continues since 1988.
In 1990, a special video featured the finalists for the Norman Teacher of the Year: Nancy Reeves, Lydia Lewis, Lois Lawler, Lisa Lauter, Sally Kennedy, and Suzanne Pendergraph. The video showed us those teachers in action with the students that they had taken under their wings. The video ends with the announcement of the 1990 Teacher of the Year.
And there it is, the announcement of the 1990-91 Teacher of the Year, Nancy Reeves. And we'll pick it up there next week, and we'll show you a special video that Fred Avery did in honor of Nancy Reeves being the Norman Teacher of the Year, as we continue our look at the Teachers of the Year and the Celebration of Teaching banquet. So join us again next week, the week that we will announce the 1997 Norman Teacher of the Year. Until then, I'm Gary Kramer for Diane Stowe and Amy Marsh. Good night.